Hi, this is James, and this is like my third time recording this video, so it might not be perfect, but it's the video I've spent probably the most time on because I listened to around 85 albums this year. Here are the 75 that I consider to be the most important, and I base this off of personal tastes, lists I saw, reviewing sites. Yeah, so the rating system is 1 to 10. I tried to do it in like a Fantano or Pitchfork type of thing, except I only went by like exact or 0.5, you know. I did superlatives for some, notes for some, and I average out the scores for all of them, and you can see that at the end. And you can also see my favorites from each genre at the end, but don't skip ahead, watch all the way through if you want, I guess. So starting off, and I want to clarify, if you don't see an album you like on here, I probably just missed it. There's a lot on here. It was easy to forget some. Lux, Rosalia, 9.5, best vocal mixing I've maybe ever heard. And I'm not going to talk about each record on here, but I'm going to talk about the most notable. Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clipse. Amazing. Verse for verse, amazing. My only issue was some of the beats weren't as good as other beats on the same project, so it's like weird. And because of that, there's some disjointed moments. But I mean, Pharrell did amazing for the most part. Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Swift. This is the nightmare scenario for Taylor for me. I really like 1989, Red, and Midnights, but this to me is, instead of being relatable at parts, it's like exclusionary in parts. It's weird. It's not good. Making the whole block looking like you is just a weird vibe. I don't like that. I really don't like that. She should be more aware of the connotations of what she says. No, I'm holding her to a high standard, but she's also the biggest artist in the world and maybe of all time, so I feel like that's merited, and I don't feel like that should be a hot take. Don't Tap the Glass, Tyler the Creator, grew on me the most. I'm a big Tyler fan, but this project didn't land with me at first, but over time grew on me. Specifically, the rap tracks grew on me. I wasn't expecting to like them as much as I did, because at first I did not really like them, but I mean, Big Poe and tracks like that, really enjoy now. DTMF, Bad Bunny. I'm not going to act like I'm really into Latin music, Latin pop music and reggaeton. That being said, really looking forward to the Super Bowl, and this is a really good album. Never Enough by Turnstile. I really like Glow On. This is missing some of the fun of Glow On, so I'm going to say it's slightly disappointing, but still 7.5. This is a good album. Baby by Dijon. Very reminiscent of Prince. Really like where Dijon is at, and I think his next project might be even bigger than this one. Really good. Getting Killed by Geese. Nothing I can say about this that hasn't been said already, but it's my favorite Kenneth Bloom produced album. I was iffy when I heard he was going to produce it because I didn't love the stuff he did with Idols. I was a big fan of Idols, and then those records happened, and I wasn't a big fan of Idols. So yeah, I was a little worried about how it would be produced, but I mean, this is amazing. The New Detroit by Lila, really slept on rap project. Check it out. Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter. I really like Short and Sweet. That being said, this to me was very disappointing. I did not like it. I think before she was critical of men on her albums in a really like fun way, this to me was like very pick me. It was not interesting or exciting. God Does Like Ugly by Jid. I remember when it dropped. I listened to it that day. I thought it was good. Swag by Justin Bieber. This to me is the dream scenario. I'm paralleling it with the Taylor album, but I like the kind of like retro pop he's doing. I like the little R&B sections. Lyrically, it's really lacking. Other than that, I mean, it's incredibly produced. Really cool vibe. Drewski features were horrible to listen to. Son of Spurgey, Daniel Caesar. Love this album. I also love the gospel aspects of this album. It was done really well. A lot of respect for Daniel Caesar's music. Yeah, only reason why it isn't higher is I think I prefer some of his past stuff, and having that in mind when listening to it does affect the score a little bit. Some Sexy Songs for You by Drake and PartyNextDoor. The reason why I'm putting this as a rap album, not like a pop or R&B album, is because like the rap parts are the parts I like. Everything else to me was boring, bland, and honestly not good. Die Trying is like if you ask someone to make a pop rock song who's never listened to pop or rock music, it's just bad. R&B was bland. PartyNextDoor is capable of better, so is Drake. EU Sexua, FKA Twigs, 6.5. Really high highs, but low lows for me, which isn't typical of an FKA Twigs project. That's kind of how I feel about Afterglow as well, except Afterglow, I like the production a little bit more. Addison by Addison Rae. Gave it a 6.5. I really like that this is Addison Rae's album in the sense of I like that this is what she went with. I like the aesthetics. I like the hits. I think this is a good album. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. And the fact that it's not bad is something commendable, and it's the reason why I'm talking about it and spending time talking about it, because like it's something that I do believe should be paid attention to. Virgin by Lorde. I like the nuance on this project. I think there were times where the vocals didn't mesh well with the instrumental, but from a production standpoint, it's like amazingly produced. The Pink Pantheress album I thought was really good. I think the reason why it's only a 6.5 to me is because it was short and redundant. But if I was viewing it as like an EP or just like one really long song, I would probably rate it higher. I like that Pink Pantheress exists and is contributing music in the way she is. Choke Enough by OK Lou. Most potential. I mean, there are ideas on here that are really cool, good ideas. Just got stretched out too long. Yeah, boring in some parts, but other than that, still really good. Essex Honey by Blood Orange is definitely my favorite album of the year. It's a Fistapop album from Blood Orange. It's like everything I wanted from him. Very crisp production. It feels like the first day it gets cold in the fall and like you're on a walk and it's brisk and you're like contemplating your past, but also thinking about what's going on in your life currently. Really, really good album. My favorite album lyrically from him. Sable Fable, Bon Iver. He's occupying his own space right now, and it's really good. Great production. Bleeds by Wednesday. Just a great alternative rock album. I mean, like, kind of classic alt rock. Really happy with what it is. And, yeah, I would recommend it to anyone who's into rock. Deadbeat by Tame Impala. I mean, the single's carried for me. Production is, like, great as always, but at the same time, I don't like a lot of the super electronic songs. Just felt kind of weak to me. Not saying he has to do what he's done before in the past over and over, but I just really don't like this direction. But at the end of the day, it was still a Tame Impala album. It was still immaculately produced. It's still really good in some parts. Moisturizer by Wet Leg was the biggest disappointment to me. I really wanted to like it. I really liked the first Wet Leg album. They were one of my groups that I was like, each year after the album, I was like, I really hope they drop this year. I really hope they drop this year. And then they did, and the single I was not excited by. It felt like more of the same, except not as good. And I really wanted them to be really good and popular, because to me, I was like, this is like a woman-led group, and they're really interesting and doing cool stuff. And instead, it was very repetitive, and I just didn't like that. It was just the same stuff, except not quite as exciting. I do like that the lyrics were a little bit more personal, but at the same time, like, it didn't have the same hooks that their last album did. Their last album had so many hooks that were amazing. Vanisher by Quadeca. I mean, this is a cool project, I guess. I don't know. That's how I feel with anything that sounds like this. I'm like, this is like cool, I guess. There's just so much going on, and not in a way that contributes to the music. The lyrics are overly emotional in a way that like feels like it like it's way too ambitious. Like it sacrifices genuineness to be ambitious, if that makes sense. And the lyrics are like so emotional in parts that it's not believable. Like it feels like someone's he's pretending and he's acting as a certain way. And the performance is like over the top in a way that just feels like acting and instead of like an expression. So yeah, I feel like that's harsh, but at the same time, like, I don't know. He gets a lot of love online. It will be fine if I'm critical. And like, I don't know. I really like Scrapyard. That to me was a very genuine project, and I feel like the more genuine he is, the better he is. Hurry Up Tomorrow by The Weeknd. This is just a great way to end a run by The Weeknd. I give it a 7.5. I mean, all the tracks flow together. I really listened to it a lot when it came out, but hasn't stuck in my rotation that much. Yeah, I mean, there are some boring parts on the album. I just think what he's referencing is better than what he's making. And I feel like that's just because he's referencing some of the greatest stuff. I like when he's doing things that are a little more subversive. Like Sao Paulo to me was really cool because he was like referencing Brazilian funk in a way that like wasn't being done in the mainstream. Snipe Hunter by Tyler Childers. I wanted to like this way more than I actually did. Production was like it was a rock album, which threw me off, and it was like recorded live from backstage. But still, I appreciate that he took a swing and went for it. Music by Playboi Carti was just boring to me. I get that people want it to be viewed as a mixtape, and then you get it, but it's like he wanted it to be viewed as an album, so I'm going to view it as an album. And it's lacking in some regards, but there's still some good bangers on there. Jack Boys 2, Travis Scott. Forgettable for the most part for me, but doesn't mean it's that bad. It's more just like, again, expectations way too high. Because I should know that at this point, if it's not going to be a solo Travis album, if it's a feature or something where he's collaborating, the worse it's going to be. Starline, Chance the Rapper, this was a great return to form. I mean, Chance, far from, acid rap, but still maintaining some of the fun. And yeah, I like that he's doing that. I like when he's introspective. Cool project. I'd recommend it to people. League of My Own by Jello. This felt like a joke album when I listened to it. Every song's the exact same. This is like classic mismanagement of an artist from an outsider's perspective. I'm sure he's making money from it, but still, it doesn't matter because he's not set up for a long career. I mean, he had a legit rap hit in 2025. That was hard for any artist to get. And he had a legit hit on his hands. And like, he makes another song, Long Order, that sounded just like it, but like, still was getting traction. Instead of releasing that as like an EP or a few singles, he releases a whole album of stuff that sounds the exact same. And of course, no one listened to the album. And like, why did he go from nothing to festivals? He should have done like small venues around the US, gotten practice. But no, it was truly a cash grab, or at the very least, it feels that way. Yeah, don't like his management, I guess. Life is Beautiful, 2 Chainz, Larry June, and The Alchemist. This is honestly great from 2 Chainz and The Alchemist. The Larry June, honestly, to me was the most forgettable because I really like other Larry June projects. But 2 Chainz, good on him for doing this type of album, pushing himself. And The Alchemist, pushing himself here, not just falling back on what he normally does. Alfredo 2, The Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs. This is falling back on what he normally does, but it's so good because it's Freddie Gibbs. Just amazing. Enchilada was the most obvious hit from the album. I wish it got more popular. Anderson .Paak and Freddie Gibbs is a great combo. I Barely Know Her, Somber. Holy boring. This just feels disingenuous. There's no way he's this teenage about things. Yeah, I just didn't like it. I just did not like it kind of at all. I can appreciate some of the sonic textures of it. It's kind of cool to do dark alternative pop, but at the same time it was just not interesting to me. Yeah, I mean, you can tell based off of live footage that the lyrics cannot all be genuine. Because anyone's singing like this about things and then immediately doing 6-7 jokes right after. It's what are you talking about? Just what are you talking about? And if you're complaining that you have fans that are too old, it's maybe your music just isn't mature at all. Maybe it's that. Black British Music by Jim Legacy. Yeah, this wins most British. What a good album. This is the direction I think rap should be headed. Yeah, really cool. He's one of the few mainstream artists, or at least relatively mainstream artists, I feel I could have an Xavier So based feature and it wouldn't be weird. Yeah, I just banged a Snoo and Canada Water. Amazing. Really good bangers. The Afrobeat stuff shows potential for a pop crossover hit at some point. Really rooting for Jim Legacy. The Clearing by Wolf Alice had a few tracks on the back end that distinctly carried the whole project. The Crux by Joe I've talked about a lot in another video. But I gave it kind of a low rating here just because of what is around it. That being said, it wins Best Plagiarism. Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, Hayley Williams. I need to spend more time with it, but I thought it was good. I Quit by Haim. When are they going to have a song about how it's their fault? When are they going to have a song about how it's their fault? That's all I could think about the whole album was there's no way you made another album about how nothing is your fault. No way. There's just no way. I mean, it's they're a stereotype of themselves sometimes, but they also will have a song Everybody's Trying to Figure Me Out, and I was I thought it was an amazing song. I really listened to that single. And the album came out and I was so unmotivated after hearing some other stuff for it. Relationships, I was see, this is if someone put him into Chat GPT and said generate a Haim song. And it's that sucks that's what it would come out. Because this band will have moments where I'm oh, this is really cool. I'm really glad this is out there. Headlights by Alex G, 6.5. Classic Alex G. There was some cool stuff on there. Everybody Scream Florence and the Machine. Most Halloween, yeah. Spooky stuff. There's a chamber version. To me, those were even better if the album didn't click with you. Those definitely will because it's just so eerie and kind of medieval. It's cool. People Watching Sam Fender. Crazy that this didn't win Most British. Just shows how British of a year this was. But it did win Most Bleachers. If Sam Fender and Jack Antonoff worked together, it would be the most Springsteen song of all time. So close to what? Tate McRae. I wish that pop was in a better place in terms of radio music so I could dislike this more. However, radio pop is so bad. Like, if there were some songs on there, like if Kevin Jonas's stuff, you know what I mean? Like, if that was on there, it would be like a -1. So Tate McRae is gonna stay with a 3. But I am glad it's out there. I think it's a step above a lot of other pop music, which is crazy to say again with it being rated a 3. I think Prime Timberland is like needed again, because like Prime Timberland could take Tate McRae and make her just the coolest artist ever. But yeah, that's kind of what I think about that. Tranquilizer, Oneohtrix Point Never. Been getting really into Oneohtrix Point Never. Just saw Marty Supreme yesterday giving this album a 9. But that soundtrack is amazing. He's becoming one of my goats. Really, really, really like Oneohtrix Point Never now. And yeah, there's a song on there called like Parallel, I believe. And it reminds me of stuff from Replica. So if you like early Oneohtrix Point Never, it's like that, except now it's like proggy. I don't know. It's cool. Jonathan, Young Lean, cool album. I don't know. Wish I liked it more. Just some stuff. Eventually you have to learn how to sing. Just eventually. Like, I get it. I get the whole thing. But learn how to write lyrics and stuff. Because there are moments that are really good, but there's also moments where it's like painfully not good. I like that he is pushing himself, though. The pilot, Mavi, just didn't click for me like other Mavi albums have in the past. Dolly Ain't Dead, Z-Loopers, most underrated. Yeah, definitely. Should have talked about this album more. Should have been talked about in general more. Yeah, and it might be my most listened to rap album from this year. That's for sure. I listened to this on flights a lot. Really cool album. Riviera, The Help, thought it was good. I don't know. Not much to say. Classic Help. Descended Blood, self-titled. Best small artist. Yeah, I discovered them recently off of a playlist. I was surprised when I saw how few listeners they had, because to me it was like texturally phenomenal, and I would recommend them to anyone who's into anything visual, because it's so just visual inducing music. It's really cool. It's really well made, really well produced. Forever by Bass Victim. I like Bass Victim. This to me was like a continuing of what they do best, and that means just like electronic clash dance bangers. And yeah, I mean, check it out if you like Snow Strippers and that sound. It's a beautiful place. Water From Your Eyes is my most likely for me to recommend. It's just an all-around amazing project. I think anyone can enjoy it. I think it pushes things interesting direction, just sonically. And yeah, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost outside of music the way I enjoy it, because I love the music, but I love the aesthetics. I love everything about it in a way that is part of why I recommend it to so many people, because it's just so interesting. It's just so interesting. Buried Out Back, Chris Casey. I saw this on TikTok and I thought it looked interesting. So I listened and was surprised by how good it is. It's like if Wolf Era Tyler was like more into rock music and NERD influence, very NERD influenced. Cool. Passionate Ones, Nourished by Time. Proudest of this album. I gave it a 9. I honestly might give it higher at some point. I'm so glad it's getting love. That's my note about it. But the reason why is I hate to be that guy, but I was kind of early into Nourished by Time. And not that early, but like early 2024, around the time Catching Chickens came out. And I got into like Erotic Probiotic 1 and 2. I really, really, really like Nourished by Time. I liked his aesthetics. I like the production. I honestly even like the vocals, which to me, I get why some people don't get as much. Seeing him grow and seeing him get critical approval in the way he has, and being someone who's talked about it all, is so awesome. I'm so happy that he's getting more love. I would love for him to be even more popular. He's just such a great artist. So much love for that album. Live, Laugh, Love, Earl. Maybe my standards for Earl now are way too high. Still good album. Can't complain. Hyper Youth, Joey Valence and Bray. Most fun. Just a fun party songs, whatever. Ain't No Damn Way, Kane Trinata. Oddly enough, forgettable for Kate Trinata, which isn't what I normally would say about his music. Right next to him makes sense. 13 Months of Sunshine, Amine. I'm a big Amine fan. This to me just like was kind of a step back. I like Kate Trinata, and this was like the same thing except not as good to me. I like the more emotional cuts. I like the first track a lot. I like the track with Waxahachie a lot. Most Summer. Yeah, Most Summer. Viagra A Boys by Viagra Boys, are just self-titled. The singles for this made me think it was going to be 10 out of 10. The album itself, I'd give like an 8, maybe 8.5. And yeah, I mean, there's some really, like, there's a few emotional cuts on there. There's the one, like, piano ballad in there, which is really good. Really good, really great lyrics. Love Man Made of Meat, love Bog Body. Again, singles were some of my favorite stuff. just not quite as good as Cave World. Evangelic Girl is a Gun by Yule, really good weird pop record. Yeah, if you like weird pop music, listen to that. It's cool. Showbiz by Mike, giving it an 8.5. Rap honorable mention. Yeah, because there's so much on there that I continue to listen to, even earlier today and yesterday. Really good album. Pinball 2 by Mike. I just love Pinball 1, the first one. And this to me was like just not hitting. Not sure why. But Pinball 1 was the first Mike album I remember being actively excited for it dropping. Before then, I was like into Mike in the sense of sometimes I'd just listen to Mike and be like, oh, this is cool. And like Pinball 1 was the first time I was like actively keeping up with when it dropped. So when Pinball 2 came out, I was just like, oh, wish that hit more, you know. Undertangle Silence by Drum, cool electronic music. I don't know, study to it, it's cool. Hagen, Titanic, most creative. Yeah, I mean, I honestly would recommend that to a lot of people because to me it's the whole like any genre thing done well. The last time there was like an any genre thing done well, I would say it's like Jordy Griep or Black Midi, because that's sort of that thing. Kind of Black Country New Road also does that whole any genre band music. I'll call it band music because it's just like music made by a band, but it kind of is anything. And yeah, most creative, just really cool. So now we're in the final stretch. Finally, Send a Prayer My Way, Julian Baker and Torres, 7.5, most underrated country. Unfortunately, due to like health stuff, there couldn't have been a tour. But to me, I was like, this is just good like pop country music. Yeah, solidly written, just well done. Forever How Long, Black Country New Road, really liked. Just cool. Cowards by Squid, really cool too. I hope Squid gets more love. And yeah, I think Squid should be talked about more. Really cool band that's been putting out a lot of really great music for years now. Forever is a Feeling by Lucy Dacus. Most Hozier, I think Hozier's even on the album. I'm giving it a 6. Expectations might have been too high for it. I don't know. It's just not for me. It's just, I like Boy Genius a lot. So like you see the Julian Baker album on there. And like, I love Phoebe Bridgers' solo music. Lucy Dacus' solo music has never quite hit for me, and I'm not sure why. This album to me made the most sense why, and I realized it wasn't lyrically. Lyrically, I think it's really good. It's the performances and the production. Just so Hozier. And like, I feel like just with, when she has good production, it's amazing, amazing, amazing. I don't know. The production just doesn't hit for me. Some Like It Hot, Bar Italia, this to me was just a cool record. Giving it a 7, but yeah, there were some moments in the songs that were really, really cool and good, but also some moments that were weaker. It wasn't just like song to song, good, bad. It was moment to moment in songs. I Said I Love You First, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, worst plagiarism. I gave The Job best plagiarism. I'm giving this one worst plagiarism. I made a whole video about it. I just really do not like this album at all. Extremely disappointing, and I didn't have high expectations. Just bad copying artists and doing what they do way worse. Jump Out by Osama Sun, 5. I feel bad for what's happened to Osama Sun this last year in terms of certain things. I feel like he probably has, I don't know, a lot that he's dealing with. Yeah, this album is solid, and, you know, it may be a 5, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And he has a song with Xavier Sobase that came out this year on an EP, so it couldn't make this. But it was really, really good. It's kind of shoegazy, and I like that he's pushing himself. For Melancholy Brunettes by Japanese Breakfast, if this were 2022 and I was in a different part of my life, I would have liked this a lot more. But it came out this year, and yeah, it's just, yeah, not bad, but yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't it for me. Pain to Power, Maruja, giving it a 4. It's one of those any genre things. I don't know. Black Midi was so special and so good, and then Maruja is like Black Midi, but a little bit like heavier, and just the political messaging isn't as nuanced. Like lyrically to me, it was just not as nuanced, and that hurt it because it sounded just, I don't know. To me, it felt like it was disingenuous because of how simplistic the lyrics were. Like I was like, people don't actually talk like that or think like that. That's why I felt like listening to the album. I was like, this is like executed well at times, but like, God, there were some moments that I was like, this isn't how people talk about this issue. Like, it's just not. And it's not that it was coming from a bad standpoint. Actually, I think it was coming from a great perspective. The sentiment was great. That's not my issue. My issue is with the way they articulated it. Glory by Perfume Genius, giving it a 7. Mostly we put on a group casual setting. I've already done that before. It's just cool. It's good. Yeah, it's how I feel about every Perfume Genius album. I'm like, this is emotional, but it sounds kind of cool. All right, you know, kind of dad rock-ish, you know, but he's a ginger goat. Respect. And then Rest in Bass by Che. How could you forget this album? Mannequin and some other cool bangers on there. And giving it a 7. Really excited for what Che does with the rest of his career. And now the part that's probably the most interesting. Average score for the year, 6.686 repeating. The 75 albums I put in here. Essex Honey by Blood Orange was my favorite album of the year. Average pop score, 6.14583. 24 pop albums are reviewed. And Lux by Rosalia was my favorite pop album. And the average rap score, 6.54 repeating. 22 rap albums I reviewed for this. Like Godstorm out by Clips, distinctly my favorite probably. And average alt score, 7.58. Big year for alternative music. Loved it. 17 alt albums. I'll put the Water From Your Eyes project as my favorite for the year. Not counting the Blood Orange as alt or pop, you know. Average rock score, 6.83. I think rock's in a really good place right now. I think it's annoying because when I say that, it just reminds me that it's like I also think rap is in a really good place, but people are talking about rap fatigue so much that it's almost impossible to talk about rap without having to mention the development of other genres, because rap's getting held to a higher standard than any other genre. You know, like how many rock hits have there been in the last 20 years? Like, not that many compared to anything else, but rap has like 3 off years, 2 or 3 off years, and everyone's like, rap's dead, everyone has rap fatigue, no one wants to listen to rap. It's like, yeah, maybe because like no one wants to listen to the new 21 Savage album, but like Xavier So Based or the Osama Sun album or any underground artist. I mean, people were getting excited about like Fake Mink now and like all this stuff that's way more interesting that's just not getting pushed right now because we've listened to the same rap artist since 2016. I'm not listening to the new Lil Uzi. I'm sorry. Uzi was cool in 2018. But like, it's just time for some fresh faces. And it's weird to say because everyone still wants the SoundCloud era to continue. Everyone remembers the 2016 XXL freestyle. But eventually it's like artists need to grow up and change. And some of these artists haven't changed at all. And it's like, maybe there's some new people that need to replace them. And people really enjoy, but they just aren't getting radio play. But yeah, I mean, rock's in a really good place. My favorite rock album is the Geese record. I mean, again, what can I say about that? Hasn't been said already. Just so good. And getting a lot of love. Got an Anne Hathaway cosign. That's pretty cool. So yeah, Geese is in a really good place. Glad they're really popular. I'm trying to get into electronic more. My average electronic score was the highest second highest out of any genre, 7.42. Only 7 electronic albums I reviewed this year, hopefully more in the future. Tranquilizer by One No Tricks Point Never, so good. That's my favorite electronic album of the year. And average for like the all albums was like 6.6 repeating, kind of makes sense. Only like three of those I put down. Titanic record was really cool, and I'd recommend that to anybody. Just really creative, really interesting. So yeah, those were my albums of the year. I thought this would be better than a top 10 because I feel like a top 10 doesn't encapsulate the type of year music has had. Yeah, if you like this, I can make a template for you to do. You know, like I can, you know, like change the score of something and it will update, you know. So I think it's kind of cool. It's a cool template. So if you want to use it, you can use it. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.